The market is down a lot and it looks like alt season isn't happening. So let's cover in this video what will be next for crypto.
Part of me is telling me to give up, but the other part of me is telling me to keep going.
What's up, guys? Omar here. So the market right now looks like an absolute fucking bloodbath. We have Bitcoin down 13%, Ethereum down 17.5%, XRP down 20%, Solana down 21%, Dogecoin down 28%, HBAR down 23%. Like if we look at the top here, what is this? The top 100. The top 100 is down a lot. Like the market is really bleeding right now, and according to CoinMarketCap, we are currently in extreme fear. Now, what is the reason behind this? What the fuck is happening right now? We will cover everything in this video. Now, before I start, make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. First of all, I would highly appreciate it, but secondly, I'm almost at 700 subscribers, and after that, I just want to smash through 1,000 subscribers, so I would highly appreciate if you smash that like and subscribe button. Now, let's just get into it, because not gonna lie, guys, this video might be a little bit long because we have a lot of charts to discuss. We have some fundamentals quickly to cover, so it will be a little bit of everything. But first, I'll start with the most important thing, and that is, I told you so. I told you so that Bitcoin will retest around $78,000, if not a little bit lower. I warned you all that this would happen. Now, if you quickly look at my private community, I already warned my community about this in November, and ever since I kept on talking about it until we finally fulfilled that gap, and now we finally did it. Does that mean the bottom is in? Not necessarily, but it might be a good indicator. However, I do think we might still head a little bit lower. Now, I always talked about this in my videos as well. Despite the bullish clickbait title, the information on it always warns you about bearish momentum. $78,000 might be incoming, $80,000 might be incoming, and it is finally happening, as we can clearly see right now. So make sure to check those videos out. Now, if you look at the charts, we can see that Bitcoin looks like absolute shit. We formed this reversal pattern right here, which we are now breaking out of, logically targeting around $73,000 to $66,000 level. However, at this level, we might find support, although I doubt it. The only reason that we would find support here is because it's a CME futures gap. But for the rest, I do not see any reason why we would completely hold support here. Now, another good thing is that we have a gap here around $86,000, which might be refilled before heading lower. But let's see. For me, the only reason to be bullish on Bitcoin is if we break above $91,000 on the weekly. As long as that doesn't happen, there's no real reason to be bullish, and we might actually just be forming a lower high before plummeting lower and then potentially reversing. But let's see what will happen. Now, a thing that I'm seeing a lot is that a lot of people are targeting 60K, 50K. There's already a lot of talks about that. These are talks that we didn't even have when we had this momentum right here. When we had this momentum right here, people were just talking about, oh, it's a recovery, it's nothing special, we will go higher, we will see 100K incoming. And look what happened, a fucking bear market started. And we have now this move right here, and people are screaming for 60K, 50K, 40K, bear market. Nobody calls a bear market this early. Believe me, a bear market will come out of nowhere, the same like a bull market and an alt season. And in my opinion, we still have room to go up, and I will explain you now why.
You're not going anywhere.
So a simple chart is right here. If we zoom a little bit in. So this is a chart, or whatever you want to call it, that is very simple to understand. Now, here's the thing. Trump wanted to impose tariffs, as I said in most of my videos. Tariffs lead to inflation, and inflation risk leads to risk assets going boom. Another thing, tariffs also lead to the stock market, gold and crypto market going down. what we can clearly see right now. If we look at S&P, it's down. If we look at gold, it's down, which we will actually quickly do before I continue. If we look at S&P, we are down. If we look at gold, we are fucking down. So it makes sense that crypto is down as well. And that means, as I've heard, I've read, not heard, but as I've read, Trump wants to be able to cut rates. But that doesn't work when the market is extremely high. We need the market to go down for that. And as tariffs leads to the stock market, gold market, and crypto market going down, it leads to the perfect opportunity to be able to cut rates. Why? Because if rates are cut, it means that risk assets also start to explode to the upside. So everything connects a little bit with each other, but in the short term, I'm not gonna lie, we are all in fucking pain right now. I don't care who you are, how long you've been in this space, unless you sold here, and unless you sold altcoins like at the absolute top like a few months ago.
Doubtful.
You're in absolute fucking pain, bro. You're in absolute fucking pain, and that's okay. We are all in pain, but I use this momentum in my favor because I do still believe, if we quickly look at my chart right here, that we still have some days left in the bull cycle. So if we quickly look at this so far, always repeated perfectly, all these dates align quite close with each other. And if this repeats again, we still have around, from here on, where we are right now, till roughly the winter, around 220 to 260 days of potential bull markets. Now, I have more charts to cover, but I'll talk about those charts in a second. Now, if we quickly look at Ethereum, Ethereum looks like shit as well. And if Bitcoin really decides to go towards around $66,000 to something like that, there's a possibility that we see Ethereum back at $1,100, $1,200. I do not close that out. However, holding support here is so crucial. Because if we quickly look at higher time frame, we see a reversal pattern as well. Very logically, for this reversal pattern to target is firstly this target right here. And if this target breaks, we can target around these levels right here, if not lower. But if that happens, in my opinion, it means that the stock market as well is entering a bear market. Because once the stock market crashes around 20%, it technically enters a bear market. 40% is a recession. So that will likely mean that the stock market as well is at least down 20%, 25%, if not more. And that will also mean that Bitcoin obviously is plummeting. And as for now, I do close this momentum out, but I do want to throw it out there in case it happens. I can just claim cloud. But that's about it. Now, for the rest, I do expect that we might likely hold support here. However, my first target is obviously around $1,500, $1,600, which seems like a very interesting target, where I do have some orders ready. Again, not financial advice, but this is me personally. I do have some orders ready here for Ethereum. And of course, in case it happens, I do have some orders ready here as well. If it doesn't happen, cool. If it happens, cool. We'll see what the fuck will happen. Now, before I continue with more charts that are very important, let's quickly cover fundamentals, just very quickly. So according to alternative.me, we are in the currently extreme fearful phase. So a little bit different with what CoinMarketCap is saying, but overall it's true. We are in extreme fear, and we can clearly see on crypto Twitter. So let me quickly play this video because it's actually quite funny. This is actually just quite funny. Well, it's not this video, but this just shows you that the US, well, let me quickly explain this video. This video basically shows you that the US, or Trump at least, doesn't want to buy any more Bitcoin with taxpayer money. So meaning basically buying OTC. They do not want to do that anymore with taxpayer money. They just want to confiscate from criminals and all that. But this video will explain it.
We'll also explore new pathways to accumulate additional Bitcoin holdings for the reserve, provided it's done at no cost to the taxpayers. We don't want any cost to the taxpayers. In addition, my order directs federal agencies to conduct an inventory of all crypto assets currently held by the U.S. government and determine how they can...
So yeah, that's basically it for this video. Very interesting. I kind of like it that taxpayer money will be saved for other things, hopefully useful things. But let's see. Guys, also make sure to follow me on Twitter everything that you see here I placed a lot earlier on Twitter, so make sure to follow me there. Further, we all saw this momentum, and this showed me kind of the incompetence that Trump has behind crypto. So he places this whole thing right here on Truth Social. By the way, if you sometimes wonder if the screenshots are real or not, just go to Truth Social and follow Trump, and you'll immediately see if it's real or not. As simple as that. So I'm not going to read this whole thing right here because everybody knows this by now. This is old news. It's older than our grandmothers by now. So by placing this and then eventually this, it was like, what the fuck is that? That does not make any sense. And then that last part here, I also love Bitcoin and Ethereum. Very, very weird if you ask me. I sometimes wonder if this is even him writing. I highly doubt it. Now, this is a funny fucking video. I really laughed my ass off. This shows you again that he doesn't really fucking care.
From this day on, America will follow the rule that every Bitcoin knows very well. Never sell your Bitcoin. That's a little phrase that they have. I don't know if that's right or not. Who the hell knows, right?
Who the hell knows, right? This kind of shows you that he barely cares. That there's somebody, likely Eric or Baron, whispering in his ear. Or maybe somebody else. I do not want to throw out blames. But yeah, everything is just organized so weird. I mean, organized and orchestrated at the same fucking time, if you ask me. Next, just in, anti-Bitcoin Peter Schiff admits Bitcoin is digital gold. I mean, this is not very bullish news, but this, again, anti-Bitcoin, and now he's admitting it's Bitcoin is digital gold. So yeah. New, from the 7th of March, the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency has just declared that national banks are now allowed to custody crypto assets. Depending on how you see this, this is bullish. However, here's the thing, and I talked about this already in former videos as well, is that this is basically what goes against the morals of crypto. So up until a few months ago, there was no talks about government. We only had Sailor. And now, suddenly we have governments entering and whatnot, and we can see what it does to price. So it goes against the core values of crypto, what it stood for. But we can see, and which is normal, by the way, I do not throw out any blames, whatever. But we can see, and this happens with many things, with many industries and many products or businesses that are built, is that over time, the pure definition of it just completely changes. And that's what we are currently seeing with crypto right now. Continuing, from the 6th of March, BlackRock sees net inflows of 430 Bitcoin worth 39.71 million. Again, this is quite bullish. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink says that the US will see more inflation soon, over the next 6 months. Again, I refer to this little graph right here that I placed that is so easy to fucking understand that you could actually never forget it. Actually, make a screenshot of it, hang it above your bed, because it's very important. Because once inflation happens, Trump will be able to cut rates because the markets will be down tremendously, and eventually it will be a perfect recipe for risk assets to boom. Now, the thing with us is, a lot of people entered altcoins months ago. So for some people, the bull markets will just mean fucking break even. it's insane. Continuing. Where? Here. This is what I want to talk about later as well. Breaking. A certain whale has placed limit orders planning on buying 500 Bitcoin between the right price range of $70,000 to $74,000. What does this inside trader know? And this inside trader is actually a very... I don't know if it's a very known trader, but he's at least a very fucking time trader, aka insider trading. He's a very time trader, so timed that it's very obvious that it's insider trading. But yeah, bro is making profits, but we'll cover that in a second. And then this tweet right here. Breaking. Trump portfolio loses over 300 million. There is a 4-week difference between the screenshots. And I retweeted it with, no, he sold 150 million to 175 million dollars. And we'll talk about that in a second. But that's the truth, guys. You have to know that obviously these people are not fucking dumb. Of course they fucking sell. Of course they will fucking sell. Why? Because they do not want to lose fucking money. If they already lost money, they will not lose any more money, and then they will use the downside momentum that they are causing, by the way, to fucking buy that dip. It's as simple as that. It's a win-win game for them anyway. They do not care about losing a few millions because they will make billions back over time, if not hundreds of millions. Billions sometimes a little bit over-exaggerated, but at least hundreds of millions that they will make back easily. Then let's take a look at the World Liberty Financial Holdings. So remember the screenshot here. Here's the proof. Realized profits, it's minus 65 million. Sadly, I did not take a screenshot, but a few days ago, this was around 150 million. Now, it also makes sense because we now currently have this right here. Total invested. And if you look at this, add these numbers together, you know that this doesn't make any sense. So you know that this money is now currently being held, let's say in stables or in dollar or whatever, ready to be deployed again. So they still took out 65 million, but they already have 100 million roughly back in the markets ready to likely then deploy. So yes, they did fucking sell right in front of our eyes, and nobody really noticed. Nobody really fucking cared. And now the market is down a lot, and it is what it fucking is. Continuing, Donald Trump, his portfolio filled with fucking meme coins. I do not advise you to buy these meme coins. We can currently see what's happening to the meme coins right now, and many of them, believe it or not, they will not survive. We can currently see what's happening with Pump Fun. Like, all those tokens die, guys, and I do not advise you to buy meme coins unless they have a strong culture. But again, utility coins are the way to go. Now, before I get into the well information, let's quickly discuss some more charts. Starting with DXY. Now, the good thing about this is that it's going down. I already explained this chart as well multiple times in my videos right here. So make sure to check them out for the full explanation. But basically what we can see right here is basically in the past what happened is as soon as we broke down, not as soon as, but weeks after we broke down here for the US dollar index, weeks after we then started a crypto bull run and an alt season. Not necessarily here, but more around here. Once this momentum happened, after already massive downside momentum, also bullish momentum happened for crypto stocks and alts. The same happened here. We had this whole massive downside momentum. We can roughly anticipate that the bull run then started around here. We had this whole momentum right here, and then this is where altcoins stopped out. And then roughly as US dollar was gaining strength again, we noticed that Bitcoin then roughly topped out around these regions right here. US dollar kept on gaining strength, and guess what? Bitcoin kept on going lower. So what can we assume? US dollar down, Bitcoin up. This is very simple crypto mathematics. Reminded. Now, we are currently seeing the same. We had this here, accumulation or consolidation above it, eventually break below, retest, break, drop. Same here, break above, consolidation, break, and boom. We are currently seeing the same right now, despite we going down in the markets, in crypto, stocks, and gold. We are seeing the US dollar going down as well, which eventually, again, for risk assets is a good thing. So when can we expect that this will impact crypto bullish? Once Bitcoin finds a fucking bottom, which is or between now or around $66,000 to $73,000 level. Also due to well activity, but I'll get into that in a second. Now, once this starts to set into price and Bitcoin bottomed out, this will have a very bullish reaction on crypto. And I do expect that the US dollar will start to head lower, likely lose support here as well. Very likely fall back towards 69, 79 points, followed by around 95 points. If you fall lower, great. It will impact the crypto market very bullishly. But let's see, guys. Let's see everything accordingly. Because we have to use this chart in confluence, for example, with other dominance. We have to notice when others' dominance is topping out. Now, as I discussed in my former videos, this behavior right here looks quite similar. So let's see if we do repeat. We are still currently within the support zone. We are still currently holding the support right here. So it means that altcoin dominance is slightly maybe gaining some strength, but very crucial will obviously be to keep on holding support right here. If we do so, we might start to recover and see similar momentum like we did here. But again, we have to correlate DXY together with other dominance, but of course also with Bitcoin dominance. Because by now we all know if Bitcoin dominance goes to the downside, altcoins go to the upside, and that's what we all want right now. We need Bitcoin dominance to go to the downside.
I need it!
Now, interesting here is that Bitcoin dominance is right now at very interesting behavior. Behavior that looks very alike with this momentum right here. Now, another thing. Very strong resistance, as we can see from the past. We didn't break above it. We tried. It just didn't work, and we eventually collapsed to the downside, initiating an alt season once we broke below this level right here. As you can see right here, start alt season. This is the level where I expect alt season to start once we break below it. Also, by the way, if you look in the past here, again, once we broke below this level, these were the moments where XRP and stuff started to extremely explode towards $3. So very, very important level for us to break. What I would like to see is the same like what happened right here. Break below this trend line, retesting this support right here and this trend line support, and eventually breaking it starting alt season. Eventually we will retest this zone right here, which once we break below will initiate FOMO for retail, including you probably, that still want to buy more because we are already up 1000% by then once it happens. And you're like, you know what, I'm buy more after being up extend 15, and then you will buy some more money here. You will forget to take profits once we hit the historical lows, and you will lose money. Now, another interesting thing is obviously for you to remind, which you will forget. I'm very certain about that. Everybody forgets after watching my videos after 2 minutes. But once we hit historical lows for Bitcoin dominance, right here, if we hit historical lows, it means that the US dollar index is also bottoming out. So something very interesting for you to be aware of. Another chart that we should quickly talk about before I talk about the whales is total. So total right now, the same like total 2 and total 3, I will not cover all of them. But total right now is trying to form a higher low. What will be very crucial for total here is to hold support. If we manage to hold support, we might see a relief rally, and then we might see a big flash crash for Bitcoin like we will talk about in a second. We might see a big flash crash for Bitcoin, which might still pull the total market cap down. But as it's a flash crash, it might recover fast. We might form a higher low by that time. And then we might start to see slow upside momentum, but nothing is assured, of course. What we could see as well is obviously something like that, and in a second it will make sense. This, then falling lower, and then continuing higher. If that will happen, which is very likely to expect it would likely mean to Bitcoin doing something like this, retesting the ski level, then heading towards this level, and then only heading higher. And now I'll explain you why this all makes sense according to whale activity. So here we have this whale, which on Twitter at least, the rumor goes around that this is Barron, the son of Trump. Now, if this is true or not, we will fucking never know. Why? Because if we knew, that would be basically knowing that he is doing insider trading, because all these positions were quite timed according to fundamentals at least. So something to keep in mind. But this dude is up $9 million, which is just insane. Shorted Bitcoin at 95.6k and shorted Ethereum at 2.6k. So quite good. Now, interesting about this is that this person has a sick buy order ready. Now, before I talk about the buy order, let's talk about the sell order that he has ready, which is around $92,449 and $92,636. And again, this perfectly aligns with this zone right here, which again is our key level to break above. If we do not break above this level right here, we ain't going fucking nowhere. And he has orders ready here, so it might be expected that price does something like this. And then we see lower momentum. However, a thing to be aware of, if we can look at his orders right here, is that he has a 600 Bitcoin buy order ready between $67,475 and $74,192. So another thing that could happen is, instead of having our relief rally right here before heading lower towards these targets that he actually has orders on, is instead of doing that, is that we first of all do this. His buy orders get activated. Along the way, somewhere here, he takes his profits out. And then here, he starts to short again. And we start to fall lower, making a lower high here. And we perhaps start to even fall lower. And indeed, we start a bear market. Perhaps the bears on Twitter are right. Although I doubt it. What would make a lot more sense is first the sell orders to be activated. And then the buy orders, riding them into a bull market. That just makes a lot more sense. But who the fuck am I to know? Further, another just a wallet that I've been following up with just in case of. Around 1 million currently. He's in a loss. He did long Bitcoin at $80,000 and his liquidation is only at $57,000 level. So he's currently in a 173k loss. But this position also kind of makes sense with holding support right here, retesting this level. This dude might then probably close his position, and then we see the market fall lower, activating that big buy order of around 600 Bitcoin. Then another whale that has been very active is this dude right here. Like, he's been really doing a lot of activity today. He also has a lot of fucking positions open. Something very interesting to take in consideration, I would say. Longed Bitcoin, shorted Hype, longed Ethereum, longed Solana, longed XRP, shorted Fartcoin, longed Trump. Yeah, many fucking... Look at these positions that he has opened. That's just a lot. Some break even, some small loss, for him at least. Some in massive profits, for me at least, like 230k, that's a lot. 95k, that's a lot of money. 292k, that's a lot of money. Does he has order ready? Yes, he has multiple sell orders still ready, buy orders. So yeah, this one is messy to follow up with. I don't know how this guy keeps track of it himself, but as you can see, there is 57 million here in funding. So perhaps a very interesting wallet to keep track of, together with this one right here. So for this video, that's about it, guys. I think I discussed everything chart related. The targets are clear, so let's see what will happen. But one thing is sure, I do not want you to forget this right here, because this all is what is going on right now. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video.